Oh boy, here goes the tough one. Oh, what a catch! Hey Luis,
Yeah.
you sabe for baseball?
Yeah.
You bueno with the baseball?
Mucho bueno.
See, okay.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're up on the roof. We got to do some wiring. We have finished the jailhouse except for one thing. Tell them what we're doing, Donnie.
We're putting a siren in.
We got to fix the siren. Did you guys think we were going to fix up a firehouse, jailhouse, city hall, water department without fixing the siren? We got to do that. So Luis and I are going to fix the siren while Donnie goes and gets lunch. So I came up this rickety old ladder we got here, and I'm up on top of the building to put the siren in. All right, Donnie, we're going to put it in.
All right.
I'll let you know what happens. Now, Donnie gets up on the roof all the time, but we can't have all of us up here. Somebody's got to hold the ladder. Look, it's on our gutter, too. We're afraid we're going to bend the gutter. If we come over a little bit, Donnie, next time it won't. There's a bracket there. So, we'll see. All right, so basically what we need to do is we've got to run a wire. From that, we're going to plug it into an outlet and run a pipe all the way down the building on that wall down the back. When they had it before, it was just coming up out of the roof over here, and there was a wire laying over there, and it just is all screwed up, and we don't like things going through the roof. So as you can see, everything's clean. It's a clean machine. All right, so we're going to get started. First thing we got to do is try to get a plug on the end of the siren. There's some wires already on it, and we'll see what those look like, and if we can just put a plug on it where they can be plugged in. So here's the old cables. Now, whenever we were using it, you can see it has bare wires. So we got to fix that. They've spliced it right there, and they just had it spliced together, and the wires weren't touching anything, so it still worked. But we can't do that, people. So we're going to try to take the siren actually off of the building. It has a little mount down there. If we can take it off, we'll take it over here, put a new cable in it, run the cable over to a electrical box that we put here, and that'll be much better. So we'll see what we can do. We're getting it little by little. Of course, we don't have the right tools. If we had something, even a bolt or something we could put in there, we could tap it out. But we're gonna do it the hard way. We can't leave this old wiring on it. It's about time for an update. We have removed it from its mount, and we are down to the wiring. It's gonna need a little attention, people.
Chéquele, por el cable.
Ooh.
Mucho trabajo, Jorge.
Oh, no bueno, amigo. Might have to take off the tailpiece to get to it.
Maybe for the...
See. All right, let's run the power and then we'll figure it out. We'll have Donnie check it.
For the ventila.
Mm-hmm. You like? What's it sound like? All right, he's gonna go grab some tape and some longer screws for us. We got our pipe laid out. We mounted our receptacle, or well, the box. Basically, we've got some silicone, and so we're putting it where the screw holes are going to be as the screw goes through, and it should seal it right up. And we're going to run a pipe all the way down, and we've got little clamps to hold it. And once we get it off the roof, we'll be good. We're going to go down with this and figure out how to get a new wire in it I think we just have to take the tail piece off of it. We'll get a nice new cable coming out that can plug into it. Make it a lot more safe. We're putting this because it'd be cool if maybe at Christmas or something, you know, you could come up here and unplug that and then put the put Christmas decorations up here. We're getting there though. We just had the sidewalks pressure washed. So this guy had his done, and we had ours done. So that whole side of the street, the sidewalks are nice and bright. Very cool. It's looking good. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. See our green building, we got to do some work on the roof. We've been up there messing with it a little bit, but that's next after we finish this up. Hey, here comes somebody. Here comes somebody driving through town. This is rare. Gene just pulled up. He's gonna be looking for us. There's no way he'll ever find us up here on the roof. But he might find my guy that went to go get parts. This might hold me up a little bit. So he did find my guy that went to go get parts, and he waved at him. Then he went back behind. So my guy that went to go get parts, Lewis, is going to climb up here on the roof with me. And the ladder's out back. Gene may not figure that out. We'll see if he finds us. Donde Lewis. But Donnie showed up. So now we got somebody to entertain Gene while we work on the roof. But Donnie went to get lunch, so now he's going to be like, lunchtime, lunchtime, and he's going to keep saying that if we don't get off the roof.
Rub-a-dub-dub, it's time to eat some grub.
I was just telling him you were going to say that on the video. Okay, now we got to eat. You climbed up here for nothing.
Yeah,
What you think?
maybe, yeah.
Comida.
Okay.
Should we eat or do the work or eat?
Y de comida.
Time to eat. All right, we're going to go eat. All right, we're putting a little silicone on it. These nice little clips that hold it to the wall. The wall has plywood on it. If you saw the video where we put the top on, we put plywood all the way down. So we're running it down. Boy, don't I look hot today. Okay, folks, we got it running all the way to the back. It runs a corner along the back. And we've got little clips running it all the way up the hip wall. Got silicone on all the screws. Very nice. All right, folks, we installed the little plug. Got it all good. It's the kind where you can have something plugged in and the cable comes down under it, but water won't get into it because it's got a seal and everything. So you can leave it on in the rain if you wanted to. But the good thing about this is we're basically, since it's switched, it's only going to be on when the siren's actually going on. So most of the time there's not going to be any power on anything on this roof because the switch will be off downstairs. And unless we're plugging in lights or something. But if the siren is on, there's only going to be power up here for as long as the siren is actually flipped on and making noise, which is not going to be very often. We're doing all this basically for ceremonial purposes. So let me show you what the whole thing looks like. So that's the plug, that's where it mounts. Then it runs all the way down the wall, got lots of little clips on it, and runs around the back corner. Okay, folks, we got it on the bench. You can see our problem. Bare wires, not good. I'd like to get in there and just solder a whole new cable on it. but I don't see exactly how you're supposed to get in there. There's nothing on the tail of it, so you must have to go in through the top. But I don't know that those screws will for sure come out, or if that's what holds it together or what, but I guess I'll try it. Hopefully they're not so seized that I can't get them out. I'd like to get in there so I can put a brand new cable on it. That would be top dollar. There's this little plate here that would have came off if this was still on there, but there's nothing in there except that's where they made their first joint that runs out to here. And then we had bare wires out here that someone had attached a newer cable to at some point. So I'll see if I can get inside of it though. Alright folks, so here is the Siren off of the roof. It is a Champion Siren, W.S. Darley and Company, Municipal Supplies, 2810 Washington Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois. It says number C978, 110 volts. How cool is that? We'll Google it here in a minute, see if we can figure out maybe an age range. So it's obviously copper, or I guess that's copper. Maybe it's not as obvious as I think. I think it's copper or brass, maybe. I don't know. You tell me. So here was our problem. Basically, the wires, the cloth covered wiring had deteriorated, and so I can't get the thing out of there though. There's some screws on the top. It looks like that maybe the whole thing comes out the top, but it's so old that it's just you can't get the screws loose. So what I was able to do was slide heat shrink way down in there to the end of the wire, and then with a heat gun melt it. So we have two nice covered wires coming out now. So what those do is they run into the bottom of this, and then there is a little access plate here on the side where you can get to these through this access plate. Boy, that sure looks like copper to me. Only copper does this, right? I don't know. It's got the Statue of Liberty thing going on. And then through that little access plate, I guess, is where you were supposed to make the connections for the wire coming in. But what we're going to do is we're going to get a big, nice, healthy cord with a nice plug on the end of it, because you saw how we rigged it up where we can plug it into the wall and take it in through here, make the connections down in it. And then we're going to put some silicone or something in here. This is all on the bottom though, by the way. But we'll put some silicone or something in here where the cord comes out so that bugs and stuff can't fly up in there and give problems doing a nice alarm. And whenever I get it all wired up, we'll plug it in here at the shop and see if it makes any noise to test it. And then we'll take it back up on the roof and plug it in. So I did figure out how to get it off. The tailpiece just slides off once the screws are out of it that hold this piece on. Hadn't tried that before. Well, there we go. So what I did was I had the heat shrink all the way down to the end inside the original cloth covered wire, but I just went ahead and wrapped all the cloth covered wire up onto the heat shrink tubing with electrical tape just to make sure no problems. So it looks like this company made tons of fire stuff and still does. So the Darley Company, W.S. Darley and Co. And I found some other ones on there. I found one that was like a 1.5 horsepower that was much larger than this. So I think this is less than a horsepower. And by the size of the wiring, I think we're, 10 amps or lower. So I'm going to put a new cord on it, and then we'll see what she does. Okay, folks, I've got the power cord hooked up. I have no clue what this thing's going to do. It's just sitting on the ground. It's a strong motor, so I mean it might blow a fuse if it's more than 15 amps or so. And it might jump all over the floor since nothing's holding it in place. But here we go. And by the way, I'm not going to let it go all the way because we're downtown. So I'm just going to let it wind up for a second, and then we'll unplug it. All right, well, we're going to put it on the roof, and then we'll really let her go. All right, folks, we got it bolted back in. We've got our cable here. It's in there and real nice and tight. We're going to put it in our little waterproof container here. And I should be able to route it down through there. Very nice. Only thing is that's a little long. So I have to check on it every once in a while, make sure the wind's not doing nothing crazy. We might have to put a little cable clamp on it or something. Okay, so, hey, you better step back mucho, very loud.
Mucho sonido.
I'm gonna step back here.
It's okay.
Hey, Donnie. All right, you ready? All right, go ahead and test it. We don't know if the power's even on. Maybe no power.
Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do what? I think he's got the power off. We'll be back in a second. Okay, Donnie. Now,
Yes.
I'm going to go out front. We need you to test my alarm.
This button.
See, that's the switch there. It's hid up there. People don't know.
This is the low one.
We
This
have
is the back porch.
we have the breaker live, people. The breaker is turned on. So if any little punk kid would come up and hit that switch way up there, it might turn on the alarm if it works. So we got it all fixed up, and we got it all mounted up. So I'm gonna go out front, and we'll see if when Donnie turns it on, if she actually works. Well, it's working pretty good if we ever need it for anything. Mr. Campbell, when was the last time that they actually used it? It works again. That's good. We got it all wired up nice and plugged up where it can last another 100 years. All right.
Okay, y'all. We showed you. The cops have left. They got mad at us. So give us a thumbs up for filming it. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already, and we'll catch you on the next one.